Hey everybody, Michael here with Arc Integrated, reaching out with video 6 of 6, which explains the activities inside the changes cards, which are a deck of cards for creating positive change in work and in life through asking ourselves and each other better questions. If you're landing on this video and have not seen the other 5, I encourage you to go back and watch them. And I'm going to give you a little introduction to the deck real quick so you can understand what it is you're about to watch. So you can use this deck, these 49 questions inside the changes cards, and I'll show you what it looks like here. These are the cards right there. These are the questions. 49 questions across 7 pillars of our lived experience. And if you're curious about those pillars, you can see them right over here. Real quick, they are cognition, heart, action, nourishment, guts, environment, and spirit. And to show you a few of the questions, here's what the question cards look like. You see examples of categories. So there's heart, there's cognition, there's action, and here is a sample question. In case you might be curious, there is a sample question. And if you're wondering where you might use these cards, you can use them in 3 contexts, right? You can use them by yourself in solo activities. This is an activity card. You can use them in one-on-one conversations. That is a one-on-one activity card. And those one-on-one conversations could be in the context of just a friend or a family member. They could be in a coaching conversation. They could be, if you lead direct reports, they could be in a conversation with an employee or a direct report. There could be all sorts of applications. Could be in the context of conversation with a client if you're a therapist, for instance, or even if you're a teacher talking to a student. And so lots of applications. Lastly, we have the category of group activities. And in the group activities, these also have many applications. So you could think about using them on an executive team. You could think about using them in a classroom. You could think about using them in a coaching or therapeutic group. And you could even think about using them in the context of a large conference. We've used these cards with groups of 20, 30, 40, and into the hundreds in person. And so lots of applications. Today, we're going to be talking about the activity titled Change Connector. Change Connector. And so I'm going to read to you this activity and give you a little bit more detail so you can see how it might be advantageous in a group that you might be in. So here's what it says. The instructions are on the back of the card here. So if you get the deck, you'll have all of this accessible to you. And of course, you can come back and watch this video if you want more detail. So the instructions here say, lay out the cards question side face down. So what does that mean? Question side face down means the blue cards would be face up, question side down, right? So it says, invite everyone to come to the table and choose a card that sparks their curiosity without looking at the question. So if you're in a group, you lay all the questions side down and invite people to go choose one, but not look at it, not look at the question quite yet. Then get into groups of 3. Everyone answers their question to the group. After each individual answers their question, allow other group members to ask 1 to 2 follow-up questions. So I pull a question when I'm in my group, I answer it, and then other group members ask me a few follow-up questions. Bonus variation, everyone answers each of the question in a group. So if I pull a question here, this is from the action category, and I say, what habit brings you confidence? A variation on this activity could be that everybody answers that question. So let me talk about the value of doing this in a group and where we've seen benefits from groups that we've seen this activity be present in. And so if you are doing this activity, for instance, at a conference, one way to really connect people in a group at scale is to have them learn with and from each other, meaning having them ask really interesting questions to each other and allow them to share a little bit of their personal background and their personal thoughts and feelings and perspectives and beliefs with each other. That can create really great value and connectivity that can then create momentum for the entire event. So when we've done these in groups at large scale, hundreds in a room, it creates a momentum and an energy in the room that is really long lasting. Similarly, another application is in the context of a team. So if you have an executive team or some other kind of group that you work with. You know, one of the cornerstones that we know about the most effective teams, all the science and research points to this, is that there's the most psychological safety in that particular team. And all that means is that the psychological safety refers to the idea that we as individuals can show up as ourselves and have our voices and our ideas seen, heard, and felt, and that the relationships are intact in that group. That's what psychological safety means. One way to get to that safety is through asking and answering really interesting and diverse questions. So this is an activity that could be utilized in the context of a team to ultimately build its effectiveness, productivity, and performance. And again, this activity is titled the Change Connector. And if you have any questions, and this brings up any questions for you, please do reach out. Below this video, you're going to find a link to the changes cards. They are now available. If you have the desire to order them for your organization, your conference, or a large group, and you want multiple decks, reach out to ARC Integrated directly. And if you're ordering 10 or more decks, we can give you a significant discount. And so feel free to connect with us. So hope this finds you doing well. Take good care, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.